Well, everybody, welcome back. And something that's kind of been up in my craw lately has been the new release of the interior for the C8 Corvette that's coming out hopefully soon. But let's just get one thing out of the way. I know everybody's dying to hear it, so here's my Ron Swanson quote for the day. My first ex-wife's name is Tammy. My second ex-wife is named Tammy. My mother's name is Tamara. She goes by Tammy. Okay, now that that's out of the way, I want to get something out of the way for me because the new interior of the C8 came out, and let's be honest, the evolution of this car was going to happen. It was just a matter of time before Corvette moved to a mid-engine platform, and the Ford GT, in my opinion, just accelerated that point. And they were already working on it, and you can already tell they were working on it because a car does not happen overnight. You don't create stuff like this out of thin air, and GM's got hundreds and hundreds of engineers and designers and those sorts of things. So this is not something that has been kind of just popped up. This is something that's been brewing for many years. And I, for one, happen to like the way this is going. I am excited for it. I hope to get one someday. You know, finances work out, but for the moment, not so much. But I am very excited, especially when I hear the rumors about what's going on. And you see in front of you here is, you know, the C8 mid-engine car at Nürburgring. And I really want to emphasize this is the way it was going. For those of you who say, "Oh no, it's got to be front engine, rear-wheel drive," this is the evolution. This is how things are happening. And Ford's GT kind of pushed that evolution. And the part that is really bumming me out, though, is the lack of a manual transmission. And I know they're faster, you know, shifting ones with the automatics and the paddle shifts. The paddle shifts do make it fun, don't get me wrong. I've driven lots of fancy cars with paddle shifts, and they are fun. They do have some fun points to it, but there's nothing more satisfying than grabbing a gear and slamming it in and having the car just lurch and take off. There's just something to that. So the reason I want to make this is because I saw this photo, okay, right here, comparing the new steering wheel to the Cadillac Aurora combined with a Ford F-150. Notice my utter lack of enthusiasm by this meme, mainly because, have you ever driven a late 80s, early 90s F-150? That is the epitome of crap steering wheels. They feel like you're going to fall apart in your hands. That is the most plastic thing I've ever felt in my entire life. And I know a lot of people like to say, oh, the Corvette's got a plastic cheap interior. Okay, it's not the fanciest thing on the planet, I'll give you that. Even mine. Is it great? It's all right. I mean, there's nothing to write home about. But it certainly was comfortable enough to drive 800 miles home from when I bought it. So it's not like it's a horrible interior. It's not great, but you know, it gets the job done. And, you know, you feel like you're driving a sports car. All the information's right in front of you. The seats are decently comfortable. I wish they would have had more of a sport option because I do slide around when I kind of push the car hard. But, you know, that's easily fixed and replaced. The interior pieces, in my opinion, are not super great. I mean, they got a plasticky feel to them. But I didn't really buy the car to be comfortable in. I bought the car to go fast and to give me an experience that I may not have in other cars. So for me, the interior is kind of secondary to how fast it goes. I mean, that's what I'm more interested in. And I don't know. Look at the Corvette wheel here. Look at those two steering wheels. I don't really see it. I mean, they're steering wheels. That's kind of what they have in common. They have a couple buttons that may do things, I'm sure. But, you know, they got the bottom part of that steering wheel is kind of flat, you know, to... you know, hopefully with your hit your knee there at the bottom. But let's go through some of the interior pieces, the stuff that I'm really excited for, and the stuff that I'm really questioning what's going on here. And you can already see some of those things. So I'm going to go to carscoops.com. Just, you know, God forbid I don't, you know, mention them in this because they put their logo everywhere. But let's zoom in a little bit to get kind of the biggest photo here. So, okay. Fully digital instrument panel. Okay, cool. That was in the C7 too. Looks fine by me. The seats so far, I'm impressed with what they've got so far. They look fairly contoured and that sort of thing. I am getting a little concerned though about this thing right here. I feel like they're going the BMW way of that sort of, I don't know, it's like a mouse, fake mouse sort of thing, and I'm just not super interested in that piece. Totally fine with the digital dash. I think that looks cool. It'll be very helpful. Obviously, you know, shift paddles here. Nothing unusual here, but you do have the little scroll wheel, which means that there's going to be some information you're going to have to scroll through. That gives you some hint as to what's going on. Keep going here, and here it is. Here's the thing. Two things, okay? Notice this little mouse thing. I hate those things. They never do exactly what you want. Just give me a touch screen. I can touch the stupid screen, okay? The other piece that's really concerning me is this giant wing or blade or whatever it is in the middle of the car. I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to like wrap you around in the car, but it separates you from the passenger, and I know that when I get one, it's a matter of time. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. When my wife drives with me in the car, or she drives it or I drive it, that's a separating barrier between you and the passenger. And I see all the buttons they did there, and I know they were trying to be sleek and make the interior better, but I'll be honest, I'm not super plussed by this one piece. And you can see the drive for auto manual. There's a manual mode obviously going to happen. Yeah, I'm not super plussed about this thing. It's this piece right here. It's that center console armrest thing with all the different buttons going on. And I know they're trying to be a little bit more futuristic, but not super plussed. Again, the seats look pretty good. I would be interested to sit in one and see what the seats feel like. The leather or faux leather or Alcantara, whatever they're going to use, looks fairly okay. I mean, as long as you keep it nice and clean, I think it should be fine. But I get what they're going with here. They're trying to make a cockpit sort of thing. Saab tried that. Minimal success, in my opinion. You know, put the key down in the middle, and you'd have to turn it from the side, and the windows were down in that center console too. And it was okay, but I'm not super impressed by this long row of buttons. I have a feeling that I'll be driving and having to like figure out where that button is or whatever it is I'm wanting to do. So I'm not super pleased with that. And it gets in the way of the driver. So let's keep going. I like the looks of it. Now, keep in mind that any mid-engine car is going to look fairly similar, mainly because, well, answer the question, why do all Priuses kind of look the same? And why do all airplane wings have the same shape? Because that's what works best. And yeah, it kind of looks like an NSX here with big scoops on the side. I don't hate the look of the NSX. I don't particularly think it's a great driving car. It's a good car, don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to pay $120,000 or whatever sticker is for it. So I do like the look of the car. I'm impressed with it. I'm excited to drive one and see what it's like. I've had other mid-engine cars too, so I'm familiar with how they operate. So this one should be good. If you've ever listened to the noise of it, I'm looking forward to it. The engine's going to be awesome. Hoping to get that 1,000 horsepower, you know, hybrid engine, which is going to be sweet. Keeping the V8, which is also awesome. But again, it's this thing right here that really concerns me because they never work well. They're a little pedantic, and frankly, they take up more time than anything. When really, all I really want, frankly, is the way to put my cell phone, pair the cell phone with the car, because the car is going to be static and not change very often. The phone will. My phone will change all the time. So, I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic it's not going to be so bad. But, you know, if we look at some of the photos they've got down here, yeah, looks pretty good. I'm looking for the ZR1 version of it, or whatever they're going to call it. I'm looking forward to that. It should be fast. It should be fun. And, hey, it's a Corvette, so hopefully it'll be reasonably priced as well. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, those are some of the things I liked, some things I didn't like. Anyway, if you like what was going on here, subscribe at the bottom. Otherwise, have a good one. See you guys later.